Christians shouldn't back away. I've never been the person that just backed away from challenges. Just like, stop backing away. Stop acting like they have the higher moral ground or the higher intellectual ground. For me, it's like, bring it.
Ruslan.
The conversation we've been having a lot lately is this overlap of apologetics, this overlap of engaging in culture, meeting the culture where they're at, but also having a good response to some of the things going on. If you can give me, like, what do you think the number one thing that's plaguing society, culture right now that Christians need to have a better formulated response for? Not that it has to be a formula, but just something that we need to be aware of how to engage with what's happening culturally in society. It's an election year, inflation. What would be the one thing that you would give us from an apologetic standpoint?
So look, man, I'm an evangelist at heart. I want to see people come to know Jesus. I do apologetics for the purpose of evangelism. I don't just do apologetics so we can be like, look, we got you.
Right.
You know, we up one year or something like that. One of the things I would say that I keep seeing on the internet that's just utterly frustrating is people that are extremely uninformed individuals getting a following and then making claims that just are like factually not true. And I mean this all around. There's people who claim to be Christians or religious or from a Christian background who say really like nonsensical stuff where it's like, no, that is not what that's teaching. That's not what Christianity is about. And then there's people from the other side, you know, it's the, did you know that? And then they'll go, you know, through this kind of like semi-truth in the Bible and then come out on the other side with something like ridiculously wrong. And I think they have the ears of people. And so one of the things I try to do is respond to those things in a loving manner, but also in a bold manner, and just say, hey, we have answers to these questions. Like when people make these claims, Christians shouldn't like back away. I've never been the person that just backed away from challenges. Just like, stop backing away. Stop acting like they have the higher ground, they have the higher moral ground or the higher intellectual ground. For me, it's like, bring it. You think, oh, we got the S word, right? Science. It's like, okay, cool. Let's talk about that. We got science, we got philosophy, we got history. Like, what is it that is making Christians afraid? And for me, the confidence is tied into our knowledge. That is not to say every single person needs to go get a PhD in whatever.
Sure.
But be well informed. Know your Bible first and foremost really well. Know your opponents really well. Know what other people believe and why they believe it, and have a proper response. Because that's what the Bible tells us to do, man.
That's right. Yeah, I think the proliferation of social media and technology is a good thing. I think the flip side of it is that then anyone who is charismatic, influential, good-looking can have a platform, and no one's really checking the receipts or checking the sources or checking the credentials, right? And so you could develop an audience speaking into things that maybe you're an expert. All of a sudden you start speaking in things you're not an expert in, and then before you know it, people think you're an expert just because you speak about it confidently, but no one's checking the sources. That's the con of social media, right?
Yeah. Well, and here's what I love about your channel, and I should tell people this is hilarious. I got introduced to you from a guy at our church who told me, hey, you got to listen to this guy. He's Armenian. His name is Ruslan. He does like apologetics. I watched your videos, and the funny thing is that I didn't really like the content. Right? I don't know if I've ever told you that.
No, you haven't, but I appreciate the honesty.
So I'll tell you why.
Arthur just said he watched my videos and he didn't like the content when he first came across my channel, which is amazing.
The thing was that it's just culturally, it's not the stuff I was surrounded by, and then like it's not the stuff I pay attention to. It's not my world. And then I kept watching, and then you like grew on me, and I was like, wait a minute, I like this guy a lot. Like he's, you know, and one of the things that I like about your channel is that you don't go the route that a lot of people go in regards to like pure apologetics, pure like theology and stuff like that. And also you don't go down the line of just like disregarding your Christian beliefs and who you are as a Christian and just doing cultural stuff, and then nobody knows you're a Christian. Right. You're like a gateway drug to Christianity, right? Your channel is, I should say.
I'll take it.
Because people can come across your stuff and be like, wow, that was like a good introduction to stuff. And then you've had people on, like Leighton Flowers was just on, you know, like Sean McDowell, and people can kind of use your stuff as a springboard and then be able to grow in their faith, become Christians. You know, we know the testimonies that are behind the scenes and the screens and stuff like that, and people sending in emails and messages of the kind of impact you have on people. That's what I love. It's like it's a great intersection. It's a great intersection of Christianity and culture, and those who enjoy that content. And I'm just, hey, it grew. You grew on me, and then I tried to connect with you, and then you ignored me, and then you ended up messaging me, which was hilarious. I mean, that's like God, man, because I gave up on.
I totally forgot that we tried that you reached out, and then like I think you pointed it out a couple months after we had finally connected, which was super duper funny the way that the sequence. And yeah, and now like our kids hang hang out. You know, one of my favorite humans to be around. So
Hey, I'm not gonna let Tim Ross throw an endorsement of sorts without me doing one. So I love journaling.
hey, yo.
I let me say a couple of things because we spoke about this in person as well. I love journaling. I kind of have my own method of journaling and the way I write my journals. Here's what I love in regards to what's been produced here for your journal is that it's guided. So somebody who's getting into journaling for the first time and doesn't know what to do, where to start, what to do with their time, this is the thing for you. Like you will be guided through your time and then come out at the other end and be like, wow, yeah, I'm drawing closer to Jesus. I see what my prayers are. I know who I'm praying for and notes for Bible passages. I mean, everything's in here, memorizing Bible passages. When I looked at this, when you gave it to me, I was like, dude, I really, really like this. For those who want to journal, I would say even if you don't want to journal, you should. It's good for you. This is probably one of the best things other than just buying a blank journal and writing in it. If you want something guided, right here, Ruslan's done the work for you, man.
Man, thank you so much.